Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Hope everyone's having a great Monday so far. I think it's Monday, right? Monday? Today, I want to look at Appwrite. I've been getting like a ton of messages about this, so I'm going to be exploring this today. I'm going to attempt to build like a little basic CRUD application. I've briefly glanced over the docs like last week on stream, but other than that, I have never really looked into it. So let's just see how it stacks up compared to the alternatives. And if I think it's worth it, then I'll make a video about this in the future as well. Gabriel says, thank you for your videos. Currently started working on a big SvelteKit project. If it wasn't for you, I'd be completely lost. Hey, thank you, Gabriel. I appreciate that. I'm glad that I could be of help. Appwrite is something I'd like to explore in the future. Strapi just doesn't have the option to run more databases concurrently, so this comes in handy. You're using Strapi currently? What are you using Strapi for? Or obviously you're using it for content management, but what kind of application are you building? Akil, any plans for full stack Firebase SvelteKit series? Maybe, Akil, maybe. Girl says no clue what Appwrite is. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind on these messages. I just got my chat open here. Yeah, Daryl, me either, honestly. It's basically a open source backend server for web, mobile, and Flutter developers. Akil says amazing content, by the way. Thank you, Akil. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not too sure about Firebase. We'll see. We shall see. I've spoken on this in the past. I just don't like the proprietary database that is Firebase. Appwrite might have something similar. I don't know. I haven't dug into the docs yet, but I think I just have a very basic SvelteKit app running right now with like nothing on it. I wanted to use Strapi for a client blog, but we opt in for a headless WordPress coupled with Webflow template. You definitely can convert Webflow into headless WordPress. Oh wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised at how many people are still using WordPress. I know it dominates the web, but it's just like mind-blowing. But that makes sense though. I mean, honestly, for a client's blog, WordPress is pretty easy. Or I shouldn't say easy, it's pretty easy for them to write blog posts and manage it themselves. So appreciate if you could do a Stripe series. Yep, I've been working on it. I have been working on it. Stripe is quite the beast. So, however, whatever they call it, the customer portal they have built in now makes it super easy. Which NoSQL database do you like? I typically use SQL, but if I had to use NoSQL, I'd probably use Mongo. I've used Mongo in the past. Yeah, I usually just go with SQL databases. Okay, so again, this is my first time looking at this. So if you don't know anything about Appwrite, me and you are in the exact same position right now. Coco, welcome to the stream. SQL databases hurt my brain less. I agree. I agree. I feel like obviously they both have their pros and cons, but I don't know. With SQL, yeah, it sucks that you have to kind of predefine your structure. But I think that's a good exercise. Because it's like the Wild West when you're using NoSQL. Again, it may have changed a lot since I've last used it, like seriously. And the nice thing about NoSQL is you can just kind of shove a JSON object right into your database. When you start dealing with nested queries, it becomes quite a pain. At least it did to me. Maybe the tooling's got better since then. Last time I used it for a project was probably 2 years ago. It's been using MySQL and Postgres, and then SQLite, of course. So I know this is 100% self-hosted. One of my mods, Luminox, was telling me that it was a pain in the behind to get up, but we'll see if he was lying or not. Docker containers, I'm assuming they're going to give me like a Docker compose. Yep. Planning to create an app with SvelteKit just to learn. Usually I use Firebase, but I'm going to use Python as a backend. What are you going to use, like Firebase or Fast API? Or Django REST or Flask? Benjamin, welcome to the stream. Hello. Yeah, Fast API is awesome. Fast API is awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna do the manual way here because I am familiar with Docker and I don't like the idea of just running this Docker install tool. I just don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, and that's what I wanted to know. How you doing to subscribe for SwellKit Amazing Series? I'm doing fantastic. X Waleed, hi, I'm new. Keep your good work up. I certainly will. Thanks for subscribing, Benjamin. I appreciate that. Okay, so here's the Docker Compose. Okay, so they're using Traffic, which is like a reverse proxy. I think that's what I've used it before. And this is for Traffic, Appwrite, real-time, webhooks. Wow, this is quite a lot of containers. Holy cow. And they have these segmented out here. I'm curious as to what they expose, like what ports they expose. I guess I can probably look at this in the CLI. Hello, Arthur. Arthur, are you Polish? Yeah, no, this is pretty hefty, honestly. I was not expecting this. I mean, I guess it makes sense looking at the different services. They have different workers set up, so it's like microserviced out, right? They also have Redis, I'm assuming, for cache. They have InfluxDB, really? Wow. And Telegraph. So I have a video on my channel about Telegraph, InfluxDB, and Grafana for telemetry, collection, visualization. That's cool. So the English way to say your name is Arthur, I would assume. Appwrite versus pocket-based performance video. Hey, to be fair, Appwrite, believe it or not, I'm surprised I hadn't heard of it sooner because apparently it's more popular. I just never heard of it until like I started making videos about pocket-based and everybody was like, why don't you use Appwrite? Yeah, this is definitely interesting. But okay, that's fine. Let's just don't want to just drop this in here? I guess so. Yo, literally the easiest way to set up Tailwind. This is the easiest way to set up Tailwind. You deploy SwellKit like this. You navigate into that directory. What did I just call it? Tailwind. You do npx svelte-add at latest Tailwind CSS. Now I have a Tailwind config. It already adds everything to your layouts. All you have to do is just install it. How is Appwrite going? I just started. I just started. I just got started here. Okay, so your secret key. So when I run this through the Docker CLI, I wonder if it's gonna like walk me through. Does it walk me through a setup or what? Like, I'm curious if I need to change these environment variables here, or if these are the defaults and I can just change it later on. Maybe I should just read the instructions here. Yeah, update the different environment variables as you wish in the .env file and start the Appwrite stack using the following command. So they take over 8080, report 80. Localhost, localhost. What is this command? I can't remember this. OpenSSL. It's like generate hex. It's OpenSSL rand, I think. At some point, we were just recreating WordPress. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, so far, am I running a database already? Nope, not on that port. I hope I can change some of this stuff here. Maybe I just use their CLI tool for this. I just don't really know, like. Oh, okay. This is the actual DNS, or this is the container's name. Python, JavaScript. Next.js. I have used Django. I've also used Flask. I've used Fast API. Yeah, what's your question? Maybe able to answer it. Okay. I think we're okay. It's going to create a bunch of stuff. I feel like it's going to create a ton of stuff. So maybe I should just create an global exception handle and dependency injection. I want to say I have a repo up on my GitHub with Fast API. I'm not sure if I was doing, I don't know if I added the global exception handler within that one. Hello, Mr. Geom. I do come from PHP and a bit of enterprisey world, have built a few huge apps, and always wondered how the hell people are using SvelteKit or Next for full stack apps when there's so much missing. Yeah, I guess it just depends on what you're building. When you have a team of hundreds of people to support something, it's a lot easier to drill down into the weeds. Oh, you're talking about SvelteKit's missing these things. I'm gonna move all this stuff over here because otherwise it's gonna break, or it's gonna spit out a bunch of files, I feel like. Mr. Geom, I'm not really interested in that at the moment. There needs to be like another year before I need like another year to even consider that, making videos on that topic. Because I feel like that whole, I actually like the idea of it, but it was infiltrated by venture capital and scams, and I don't want to be associated with that. And I also find it hard to believe something can be decentralized when it's hosted on AWS and Google Cloud or whatever else is running these applications. So at that point, like, what's the point? A single organization could still, but again, I could be ignorant on some of the intricacies. But yeah, I'm sure it would get a lot of views. I just don't really want those types of viewers at the moment. Here we go, everybody. We are starting Appwrite. Look at my terminal scroll bar here. Yes, Brian. He says, yes, it feels like a lot of work to set up, maintain a self-hosted solution like this. Yep, I completely agree. But some people want to own their solution, so Mr. GM, that would be fantastic. I'm 100% for that. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can understand the reputation that it has. Every time I see it now, I just instantly associate with a scam. And I used to be pretty heavily, a pretty big believer in it. Until a bunch of celebrities got involved and it just turned kind of weird. I don't know. Culture's just not my vibe. Okay, so we're out running a ton of did anything break? I'm sure that I'm assuming they have depends on. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, I think we're okay. Let me delete this now. So now I'm guessing I just go to localhost. I know I saw like an admin email and password, user and password. Oh, I wonder if these are actually the systems themselves. But or do I have to sign up? When you deploy with their CLI tool, what does it have you do? Appwrite looks bloated. We'll see. Okay, so I have to sign up. Okay, so it doesn't just have a user created for me. Okay, so this is the dashboard UI. I'm assuming I'm going to add a platform. But first, let me go back to these docs here and yep, we're in. Okay, Appwrite for web. Yeah, I'm using Microsoft Edge. Microsoft Edge. Proud to say. On Windows, yep. No, I just switched to Edge recently. I guess a few months ago. Chrome was just like eating my resources. And I like the vertical tabs. And I realized I can add all the same extensions to Edge that I can with Chrome, and so it's like whatever. I feel like Edge is built to run on Windows by Windows or by the people that made Windows, so makes sense to me. Artix Linux plus ungoogled Chromium easy. Is it at least Tux WSL there? Yeah, this is WSL. Yeah, I use WSL for terminal 100%. I have a MacBook that I use for work, but personally I have a PC. I just get more bang for my buck. Okay, so yeah, anything terminal related, I use Ubuntu. Think I'm gonna be using PowerShell or command prompt? No way. Before WSL, I usually just had like a VM, like a virtual box. So client. So I create a client and then I create an account. And I pass that client into it. Okay, so I'm okay, so we're gonna do this thing. Let me go in here, web app, it's felt right. I hope it doesn't matter what port. It shouldn't, right? No port required. Okay, cool. Okay, so we're gonna do something similar to what we do with Supabase. I'm gonna create Appwrite. Yo, what is up with this right now? You are Microsoft, who knows? I'm assuming this is my project ID it's giving me here, I hope. Okay, so what's with the account word? Is that like I'm assuming it has something to do with obviously auth. Like, okay, is account like what I use to, it's like a repo. So they all have methods under them. I also have a listener, which I can use the same way that I use the is it handler? Handle. Oh, I need to wrap this. Whoops. Spellkit and SurrealDB. What is SurrealDB? Every day there's a new DB. I wonder if there's a way to get TypeScript and autocomplete using page data when we validate with Zod on backend. There sure is a way. There sure is a way. If you look at this project here, so like Zod, you can actually, I think actually in this project here, I have a helper set up. Oh yeah, so yeah, I was using JavaScript at first, but yeah, I can't do it anymore. Yeah, if you check out this repo, Project Hunt, it's a bigger project. I use Zod a lot. And there's a lot of like little validation helpers and things like that. I think I actually convert one of them into a generic. Let's see here. Helpers. No, it's under utils. So this one's a generic that just serializes the non-POJOs. This is for, I mean, I guess you could technically pass this here. But when I validate data, you can see that it's t extends z.type any. So whatever I pass in as the schema here is going to become t. And the return type is going to be of type z.infer t. So it's going to be an inferred type of whatever schema you pass in. So you should have it typed. Yeah, I'll probably remake the Zod video. Is that one on in JavaScript as well? If so, it's pretty pathetic of me. That's like most of the value comes from using Zod with how gross it is. Yeah, I'll probably refresh that that video. That's awesome to hear, Mr. Geome. Thank you. Okay, what are we doing here? So creating a user, I guess we can just straight up create a user. Can I not construct this client like? Can I set these here like this? Can I do literally? I can't do this, right? There's no way. Can I? Maybe I can. Now how do I actually check like auth status and whatnot? I guess I can just find out in a minute when I actually log in or make an account. I've been loving Gitpod. To spin up workspaces with config file based definitions. You can launch many tasks in the same workspace. Interesting. I haven't actually I haven't even heard, I don't even think I've heard of that. I have heard of it certainly, but I've never actually this looks pretty cool. I like this 3D rendering here. Is this like is it like stack blitz and replit and everything else? I use stack blitz and replit and other things. I usually use like or code sandbox for like got it. Okay, so what do I need to do to sign somebody up? I just do this. That's all I do. I'm assuming it's email, password, name. Okay, and then I'm just gonna do like, it's weird to have to instantiate like a new client or a new account. Yeah, it's very weird to me. Um, Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so it looks like I did create that fairly easily. Maybe. I have a user, unverified. Cool. Give me 1 second. Let me use the restroom real quick. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so that wasn't too difficult. It's definitely weird. It's very object oriented. So like, how do I check the auth status of a user? Get the currently logged in user, we just do account.get. So I'm interested what it returns otherwise. It looks like it only can return a 200. It can't return anything else. It's kind of a bit weird, right? I guess it's gonna throw, which is kind of annoying. So here I probably need to have the client and the account. Arthur, sorry to hear that. Hey, I'll actually be in Poland in May. See you next time. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, so they have to store the account here as well, but the problem is going to be Yeah, my girlfriend's from there, so she was born there. So we're going to visit her family. I've never been, so I'm excited. We're going to be in like Krakow area and Tarnov or Tarnov. I butchered that, but it's okay. So for this account, I think I can just run like .get. But no. Yeah, actually, I think I just went .get there. Nope, I just broke something. Maybe I can't do that. Okay, I cannot do this. I guess I can just make... Oh, I wonder if it's throwing. Because I don't have an account. Okay, that's definitely what's happening. Easy solution. But is this asynchronous? Can I do this? I don't think I've ever done. I don't know if I can do this or not. Maybe I just stop being a weirdo. I feel like I can do that, but I think at 10,000 users, you're probably gonna have multiple databases. You're gonna want to have like a cache of some sort. I'm assuming you're consuming some type of a third-party API. You're probably paying for, so you could I don't know. I mean, you could use any of them. You could use any of them. I wouldn't put too much thought into that, to be honest, unless you already have 10,000 users ready to sign up. But yeah, there are new databases every day, and I think that a NoSQL Pro could certainly build a NoSQL database that outperforms my SQL database at relationships and whatnot. Just use whatever's fun to you. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're setting up a try catch. We're going to try to await account.get. If this throws an error, which it's been doing because we're not logged in, it should set account to null. So I need to change my types. Account can either be an account or it can be null. And actually, it's going to be type account preferences. These are preferences. So account, okay, what's the difference between account.get and account.getPrefs? Because get returns models.account preferences. Okay, so getPrefs just returns preferences. This is going to return account preferences. So I should be able to do account preferences. Okay, so now I can get to my, let me just console log event.locals.account just to see what that looks like. If I don't have anything, it should have null. It is in fact null. Okay, so now we need to set up login. I'm guessing that's like creating an email session. Yeah, okay. Okay, so it's gonna be account again. So I'm gonna continuously need this account thing, but I guess we can just instantiate it when we need it. Create email session. Yikes. Okay. Obviously, I'm going to move these eventually, but right now I just want to. Damn. Copilot is one smart son of a gun. Try account dot create email session. Okay, I'm not too sure what I'm supposed to do with that session once I have it. I'm wondering if it... Okay, so here's my session. Okay, so account is still gonna be null. So I need to figure out... So I guess I'm gonna have to like manually set this cookie. I didn't lose Twitch chat, did I? Again, my bot has a bad habit of disconnecting from Twitch. Make sure real quick. Okay, it's still good. Awesome. Okay, so right now I'm looking at Spoobbase's SpellKit auth helper to see kind of what they're doing. So when I create an email session, what did it give me back? Give me an expiration. I'm guessing this is my session ID right here, right? What's the app we're building today? We're building just some crud, a bunch of crud, you know? No, I just want to, I'm not building anything crazy. I just want to get like some basic crud going on. But I want this to work with SpellKit. I know I could probably use it with the client side, with the library on the client side, but what's the fun in that? I want to make it really, really, really hard on myself. So what I think we had to do, well, first let me look at see what this is actually doing. So when I do create a session, create magic URL session. Oh, whoops. create account session with email, allow the user to log into their account by providing a valid email. It returns a promise with models.session. Okay. I also have a refresh token. Oh, these are providers. Okay. But what if I don't have, I guess I can check to see. Oh no, I forgot to initialize room. They don't have a server-side one. Yeah, right. But we should be able to do something similar. It's gonna be a bit more manual, but so if I look at their stuff here, when they do get requests to a base client, wait, where's this get cookie coming from? Oh, okay, I see what they're doing. Okay. No, you don't have to do that, Coca. I've done that. I've already done the pocket base. That's already it's pretty similar to Supabase. It's actually a little bit even easier. You just hit the auth store in the hook. Okay, so part of me wants to just yoink all of this stuff here. Oh, they have some auth helpers shared. Okay. Trying to think here. Okay, so when the user logs in, I want to set a cookie. The stuff I get back from them. I want to say this is account. When I do account.get, And no worries, Coco. This isn't giving me a token though, I don't think. So when I log in with user, oh my God. I don't think we're gonna do this though. I don't think we need to do this is like an admin. This is like an admin Okay, this makes sense, I guess. So I have to create a JWT on behalf of that user, but okay, I think I have an idea, maybe. Okay, so I'm trying to think now how I can, I guess, like maintain the auth state here. I'm obviously gonna have to generate a cookie. This max age is gonna be the token expires every 15 minutes. So but I guess this expires when? think it's defaults to just now, right? Milli is 1,000, so I need to divide that number by 1,000 to get the seconds. Wait, can I just do expires? God, I'm so stupid. Okay, and then so let's see here. Man, creating this from scratch is no fun. I guess somebody has to make the auth helpers though, right? Okay, so I think if we set the date to expire, or we set the session expiration date as the expires date here, we should be able to set HTTP only to true, and we should be able to set trying to see what Subase's auth helpers are doing as far as cookies go. I'm gonna keep shilling Lucia. Yeah, I know. Now I see why everyone's asking me to use this, because they want me to do all the Lucia. You sure it's not Lucia? Pretty sure that's a an Italian name, isn't it? Is that the Americanized or Canadianized version of Lucia? Okay, so this is parsing a cookie. They take in a session, they parse that session out, which is what we pretty much have. Okay, so they're parsing out the sub and the expiration from that payload, which is what we're pretty much getting back. So we're pretty much getting a payload here, a session, right? This is like the payload. They're returning this. We have to generate an access token and a refresh token though, which I don't know if they even have. It says, the weird thing is that this secret is valid for 15 minutes from its creation. But I guess if we have, so we have a session, right? The session is obviously lasting much longer than the JWT. The session is used to create the JWT. We could store the JWT I guess, has another cookie. Use that session to... That cookie will expire in 15 minutes. Whenever we hit our hooks, we'll check to see if the session exists. I'm sorry, we'll see if the JWT is expired or not. If it's not, we can use that. If it is, then we'll generate another JWT, store that, rinse and repeat. And I guess we could also like refresh the session. Actually, I don't know if we can refresh the session without them actually logging back in. So it's probably not a good idea to just refresh that session. The expiration date, I believe, was what? Looks like the 20th. So a day. Now, when we're using auth providers, though, we're gonna have to do some more stuff with this, but I'm trying to visualize how we're gonna need to do this stuff. So we get a session, we pass the session into like a helper function that we're creating here. We'll just call this handle session. This is actually going to be of type account and preferences, I believe. Actually, it's going to be of type models.session. Okay, so we have a session. We also are going to want the event. Well, actually, okay. First, let's just figure out how to handle this session. So we'll handle the session. We'll take in a session. We are going to want the event. So I think with this, we just want to construct like the cookie, right? So I guess I should first check to I guess I could do this here. Exclamation mark dev to make it easier. LDev. Okay, so we have the expiration date. We have all this stuff set here. I'm not using some of this stuff here, but I did not know that, Coco. Okay, now I have an Appwrite session. Now my question is, how the hell do I... How do I use that session to like... Like, can I log in with like a... And then I can get session. It does not help. I looked at that the other day because Luminox was asking about this too. Again, I could do it on the client and it's easy, but that's not the fun. That's like, what's the point of using SvelteKit at that point? I can never server-side render a protected resource. My question is like, I guess, how do I populate this account? to be so nasty if they had like a sidebar that I could just click instead of having to scroll all the way down here. So I think the problem is how I'm instantiating this account. Like this is like this is a fresh account, so it's not being like used again and again and again. I need to like, I could use the node Appwrite and act like from an admin side, but I shouldn't have to do that. I should not have to do that. When I'm constructing the account, what is it looking for? Okay, so okay, so this creates a session, which I've already done like 10 times, right? No, so like the session already exists. That's the but the problem is I think when I'm like instantiating this client here, like it's obviously not maintaining state. When it comes back and forth with this hook, it's like a fresh client, which is fine, but the account needs to somehow, I need to somehow like have this account act as the, and even then though, the weird thing is like, Like currently logged in user. How is it maintaining the state? Because like, I don't even see where. I mean, I guess I'm so used to doing things server side now. I'm like going stupid. But my question is, where does that account live in my application? Even if I'm doing it on the client side. Let me look at this example. Is it though? Is it? That's the question I have. So if I look at account services, let's look. Email. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So here's the actual method. Create email session. Returns a promise with models.session, which I already have access to, right? Oh, I know what's happening. It's setting it through this. This call is responding with that. So it should be inside of some headers, right? But I don't think I'm gonna have, actually it returns await this .client.call. So maybe I need to return that or log that. But is it? Let me stop console logging so much stuff here. Okay, so this is what I get back. Wait, where am I doing that at? Hold on. I am setting the cookie. I am setting the cookie. I'm setting it inside of here. I'm just passing in the session ID. Do you know what the client stores the cookie as? Like, what does it look like? Or local storage, what does it look like? Is it just storing the session ID? Because like you would think there had to be some type of something I have to set somewhere. But these methods don't look like they're... Like, what is get session doing? So get session takes in a session ID. Inputting current will return the current session being used. Timmy Turner, thank you so much. Okay, so that's your JWT. And that's your session ID. So A_session and then the _ session ID. So I can do that. So A_session session dot ID. And then it looks like while they are here, they are setting a JWT. That's JWT, right? 100%. Can I decode this? I guess I'll do it off stream so you don't see it. I don't know what kind of secret stuff you have in there, bro, but that's not a JWT. Oh yeah, I do have it. Okay, I do have it decoded. Okay, so all I have is the secret. Your secret here. What is that secret? I'm guessing that's part of the JWT creation, obviously, right? That would make sense to me. So while we have this account, the contents of the session we don't have a refresh token though, which is kind of strange, right? So in this case, this would be account. We got to do that here. So we could say not this shit again. Oh, okay, I see. So now let's see what happens when I log in. I'm going to delete. I don't need to delete that, but let's see here. Okay, so user role guest missing scope account. My brain's hurting. My brain is hurting. Does this even have like auth set up? Let's see. Senior layout route protection for this people. Their heads exploded. Huge save with that. Have a good evening. Hey, thank you, Timmy. I appreciate that. I'm glad I could be of assistance. My head also exploded the first time I realized that. Fortunately, my app wasn't working the way I was wanting it to work, and it wasn't even due to. It was due to that, but I didn't realize it. It was due to something else in the layout load, not reloading. And then I was like, wait a minute. That means my auth check is not running. And then I did some further investigating and saw the issue. And so I wonder if I run .setjwt, the problem is I can't even create a JWT. Whoops. Just formatted their doc. Great, I broke something. I just don't know how I'm like, I really don't get how this is working. I need to like this route here, this.client.call. Okay, so call is doing something. It's calling the API endpoint. Okay, here we go. This is where it's happening. Yeah, I found it, Coca. Where is this cookie coming from, though? Okay, so cookie fallback or null or nothing. I can't wait to watch this VOD. We haven't accomplished much, David. I've been looking at their code for a hot minute now. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. So it looks like their SDK is so this X fallback cookies. I guess where's that being set? Okay, so something about cookies here. These are the models, database models. Where is that cookie being? Where's that cookie being created at? That's my question. So the client service, when it gets a request, so this is call, right? So this is every time it calls an API endpoint. This dot headers, which if we look up here, this dot headers is what? Okay, so they don't have anything here about a cookie. X Appwrite JWT. I think it's only for okay, so it looks like we are gonna have to potentially use like a mix of these two, maybe. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to use like a mix of these two because the problem I'm having right now is that I can't even like. Hey, David, you're welcome. I think I'm glad too. I'm not sure though. We'll see. It's all real-time stuff. What up, Luminox? Oh, you know, I'm over here probably doing what you've been doing for the past week when you were trying to get this to work. What is this X fallback cookies? No, I haven't got anywhere just yet. I'm trying to figure out how it's working. This cookie fallback. So they're doing things in local storage, right? I just don't really know what is this? Where's this cookie coming from? Like if I don't have this cookie fallback, like I'm just kind of confused right now. I think I know what's happening. I think I have an idea. I can see in the code right now, this X, it's looking for this X something. X fallback cookies. Or local storage that get cookie fallback. My only concern is that I think the like that's being set by something else, by the actual API. Here we go. So this endpoint here, this is for phone. Let's just see, X fallback cookie. Let's go to the first instance of this. Okay, so session/email, this endpoint here is, if we look at our client or our account here, email session. The URI is this config endpoint path, account/session/email. Account/session/email. So then we can see here that the response, we're getting a header of X fallback cookies. We're encoding the auth cookie here. Yeah, I agree, it is. Basically here what I need to do is the client is like blocking us because it's trying to do things itself. So you can see here it's setting window.localstorage.getItem. So when I call, what it's going to do is it's going to set the cookie fallback to cookie fallback, which we set up here to response.headers.get x cookie fallback or x fallback cookies, right? Okay, so that works. Okay, so now when I call, I actually don't want to do anything with local storage. I don't care about this right now. What I want to do is I want to set Okay, so my custom client is going to take an event. I don't know if this is crazy or if I'm doing something crazy or not. Let me think here. Actually just set up another method. Hello, Funky Waddle. I think I'm also gonna have to return like. Yeah, I know. This is certainly not going to work at the moment. I'm going to need to like. Essentially what I need to do is pretty much this has to get, this Supabase server client needs to get rewritten like for Appwrite. Because there's way too much client-side stuff in here that it's just going to muddy things up. Like doing this on the client side is easy money, easy day. Problem is that it's looking for cookies and local storage. Luminox is 100% not SSR friendly. The only thing I saw was like, I guess for a server, which like the problem is we don't get that header back. We don't get the actual response back from their REST API. And therefore, like it's trying to do all that for us. But all I want to do is for them to just give me that request back, which honestly, I may just be able to do. Like inside of this client here, when we call, which is like calling the API, whatever, it's checking the types, yada yada yada. You get the response here with the options that we passed. The problem is they want to set the headers here. We want to set the headers ourselves. And then at the very least, we need these response.headers.get. We need this cookie back from the REST API server, from the PHP server, wherever that's running. And we could set this to our actual cookie. but instead they're doing it here. And then they're just setting data equal to await response.json, right? But I wonder if I just return like data in response. But I feel like we need to like intercept that or something. Yeah, I think something like this would be pretty cool to make. Again, I can literally see the problem with what we're doing right now. It's not a mystery. It's just a matter of, do I... Like, I'm fairly certain we could just rip this entire thing here. I import it to like Appwrite. Because here's the thing, Subabase's client side works, from what I understand, pretty similarly, right? So these are the shared ones, right? If it's a browser, it uses this. And they're still using cookies though, like document.cookie. Either way, it's all a matter of where we want to store that token. I don't think it really matters if it's stored in local storage or like the API doesn't care where it's stored. As long as we can retrieve it and set it to the headers that it's expecting it to be set at on every request, we should be Gucci. So for SvelteKit in specific, or in particular, they have a few different things. Creating a client. Okay. Well, this can be a project for another day, unfortunately. There's no way in hell that I'm going to rewrite this today. Maybe not ever. I don't know. But I want to give it a shot. I'm just concerned about like the security aspect of it. Because they're certainly doing things here that are checking to see if it's a secure environment. Yeah. Really, it's just going to be... I mean, the auth helpers is like a whole separate thing, right? This is separate to the... Subase/JS. Like, let's just look at Subase.js real quick. Yeah, they're using like JWTs, which is probably coming from set auth. That's real-time auth. That's what I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to do that. This is very interesting. The thing is, though, is I don't think we even need to do this. That's the thing. I see this JWT 15 minutes. I'm fairly certain that if we can actually securely pass the session, the cookie, all that stuff to our server side, we can just act on behalf of that user as long as they have a session. But right now with their SDK, they're kind of like preventing that. They're making sure that we are on the browser and that local storage is being used. Yeah, what isn't it? Is it written in Svelte? I've been looking at their. Yeah, it is nice. Honestly, I didn't really look around it too much. I made one user. I mean, yeah, it looks pretty nice, to be honest. Are these like document DBs or what? Oh, I created an items database. I did not want to do that. Like this is like a whole, this is like an entirely different database, right? This is be like, I don't know. Right? It's like a schema. And then collections are like tables. Yeah, like document DB, yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty interface. I do like the interface a lot. All right, everyone, that's kind of disappointing, but I think we have something we can do. Maybe that's what we work on next, is trying to... Well, first let me see if anybody's even asked about this. Yes, they said Yes, we are aware the Svelte SDK is outdated. This needs a bit more planning now that Svelte Kit is now a thing. Previously, SDK was planned as a wrapper for the client side and native Svelte. For Svelte Kit, we need to consider the server side as well, which is still not decided when we do that. For now, please use the normal web SDK. Yeah, this is the okay. This is interesting. This person's doing something. Check session. API to provider.set JWT session.get JWT to string. This could be something interesting too. Let me start this. This is pretty old though. I wonder if they change anything. It's okay. We'll look at it later on. I'm gonna probably head off. I'm getting a little tired. Now we didn't accomplish anything today, but we now know how Appwrite works behind the scenes, or their SDK works. I'm gonna try to maybe tomorrow modify that repo I just started to see if I can. I mean, if it works for Remix, the thing is, like, if it works for Remix, it can work with SvelteKit. So when you're looking for examples of how to do things, if you just look up Remix, since it's, I think it's more popular, I believe, at the moment. Maybe not. If it can be done with Remix, again, it's very, very similar. Like, literally, their loaders are load functions, their actions are our actions the same way. But I'm wondering how they're interacting with that. This dot provider here is pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting setup. That's for auth 0, right? Where? No, they're setting provider to, like, their API. Like, SDK is Appwrite, and then the provider for this API object is API.SDK, which is this Appwrite. They have an option to configure or not, which basically, you know, reconfigures it. If not, you don't do anything. So a couple of these, like API to provider false, account to delete session current. So I'm interested to see if this is old or not. Like, am I able to just, like, yeah, we'll look into it a bit more. I'll look into it a bit more tomorrow. Yogan, hello. I'm just heading off. Sorry. Welcome to the stream, though. Thanks for saying hey. I've been staring at code for... My eyes are starting to hurt a little bit. I was actually reading the whole time. Yeah, good night, everyone. Have a good night. Appreciate you all hanging out. Hopefully we can get to the bottom of this and get Appwrite working with our server-side applications.